What's up, fight fans? Glove Talk. Here with my boy Jose, going over the China card reactions here. The Johnny Walker versus the Zhang fight, which ended in a disappointing. I can't support the Chinese fighters anymore after that card. I'm sorry, just can't fuck with that, bro. Going down to a leg kick like that, but it's what it is. We're gonna get into it. So here we're gonna pull up the first fight. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You might have to say the names for this one, cause sheesh, they got some foreign
Oh,
ass
I
shit,
got you.
boy.
I got you. All
I got
right,
some
I'm in
foreign
the
ass shit,
building.
boy.
All right, we had Uran Satibaldia versus Dr. Norgajai, and Uran put the pressure on early in the fight. Dr. was getting some of the better exchanges on the feet, and then Uran just took him down and was able to get some sweeps in there, and then ended up with the Ezekiel choke from the top, a submission we haven't seen since Alexei Oleinik, right? Who got that multiple times in the UFC. It was a good finish. It was a pretty interesting way to start the card, kind of get you engaged. Quick first round finish as well. I didn't see anything out of this world from him, but he definitely seems durable for a light heavyweight. And if he can pull off stuff like this, and who knows, he might be a guy who might be able to do some things right, light heavyweight.
Yeah, for me, it seemed like Dyer just accepted being on the ground. The ground, he didn't want to get up. He didn't want to create any space. It seemed like once he got him down to the ground, he was pretty much trying to just sit there and just lay there for the rest of the round. So, but he didn't sit there and settle on top of him. He went there and tried to get the finish. So he was able to get the Ezekiel choke, which is kind of an embarrassing submission to let somebody get on you, but it is what it is. When somebody's that much better than you at grappling, sometimes they're able to get stuff like that. So. Um, and it's actually something that you
Right.
can you can actually set up, pretty well. So you're going to the next
Yeah.
fight here. We have Zhang Lao versus So Young Yu. So Young Yu here was able to get a decision win here. In a pretty much all striking fight here. Really wasn't no takedowns, grappling, and I feel like this is one of the more less exciting fights in the card. I don't know, how do you feel about this one?
I mean, I didn't really catch this fight. If I'm being honest with you, I just ended up watching some clips afterwards, and even just looking at the numbers, I'm like, eh, it's just meh. It wasn't a bad fight, like lack of activity. It was just a very vanilla fight, in my opinion, from what I could see. But I mean, 16-3, and bantamweight's a division known for churning out contenders. So I mean, they might try to push him to the moon, especially that Korean market needs more fighters coming out of it. So we'll see, man. I don't know. It didn't really do anything for me this fight.
Yeah, I think they just gave So Young Yu this fight just because he was trying to at least mix it up, and he at least attempted some takedowns. I think he shot like 5 or 6 takedowns, which Long was just
Yeah.
all pure striking. So sometimes even if you're not the best grappler, it's good to still mix it up because it shows you're more diverse. Sometimes some judges might favor that. So I don't know, what kind of judges do they have? You think they
Right.
think they had the Chinese judges or?
No, no, no. They had regular. They brought the judges and the refs all from from America, like America and the Nevada judges, all
Okay,
that stuff.
okay, I'm seeing. And the next fight we had Yizha Yizha versus Weston Wilson. Yazaha was a guy who he lost, I think, in the finals of the road to the UFC, and then he came the next
Yep.
year, was able to get a submission, and then now he got into the UFC against a guy Weston Willis, who I think he got a submission in his last win. Started off 0-2 in the UFC, got a win, and now got another loss here with a vicious. I think this was a knockout, right? Yeah, vicious knockout.
Yeah, yeah. He knocked him
As
out.
soon as I seen
Yeah.
the fight, Weston Wilson, just his right hand was just too fucking low. As soon as the fight started, I'm like, oh yeah, his hand is, even his left hand, like his left hand was high, but he would dip it low, when he would think somebody was gonna kick him and stuff. So that right hand just being way too low, and Izaha just catching him with that overhand left and taking him out, just spamming the left. He was spamming that overhand left.
Yeah. He got hit with it 3 times, I think, before he finally got like rocked and knocked out. I mean, that's just bro. That's bad technique. And he talked about it in the fighter meetings right before the fight, and it's been an issue with Weston Wilson just not having his hands high enough. I think it's unacceptable. If you know it's an issue, dude, and you're not working on it, and you get caught with it over and over again, like you're not the level of the UFC then, right?
Yeah,
If it's one of those things, and especially with the record he has now, I think for Yisha it was a good finish. I mean, he did what he had to do. He got him out of there in front of his home country as well. It's a good win for him. I mean, and he hit hard. He really did hit hard. Which, dude, again, I don't know what they're gonna do with the guys that won on this card, the less known names. I don't know what the UFC is gonna pivot when it comes to filling out fight nights or whatever. But like he's young as well. I'm interested to see what we see out of Yisha uh in the future. Right? He looked good on the feet. I like the way he read Weston Wilson. Sometimes you'll get one move on a guy and then you don't go back to it, and he's like, I'm just gonna keep spamming his left hand until he decides to put his hand up, and if he does, I'm just knocking him out. So I think it was good fight for him.
Yeah. And also, if you look at the numbers here, he didn't even get a strike off in this fight. So about dominant as you could get in a win here. 17 strikes to 0. So dude didn't even get to hit you. So it's about as good as when you get. And then for the next one, I wouldn't say this is a shocking win. I would just be like, it just wasn't expected. Kyle Dawkins, brother of Chris Dawkins, right? Chris Dawkins, another guy who got cut from the UFC. He was a heavyweight or whatever. Kyle Dawkins. He also got cut too, but he was able to make his way back into the UFC. I think this was his first fight back in the UFC, right? Since he got cut last time.
Yep.
Against Michel Pereira, who was like kind of like the main event guy, Johnny Walker, who's like one of those guys who, he's dangerous, but at the same time, you just don't get why he's not a fucking elite top level fighter based on his skills and his physique, and stuff like that, his natural ability. He just seems kind of goofy out there sometimes. But Kyle Dawkins, it seemed like it was like a more game planned knockout here. He was able just to stay in the pocket and duck in and catch him and be able to knock him out. And Michel Pereira, another guy like the main event guy, Johnny Walker, who is kind of weird, who can get kind of chinny at times. So good win from Kyle Dawkins, and to get back into the UFC is a great way to do it. And this is another fight, 2 strikes to 7. So I ain't gonna lie, Michel Pereira, I think the first body kick he threw, he could have finished Dawkins with it, because that first body kick he threw was fucking vicious, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
that first body kick he threw,
though.
Nah, that shit.
It caught all elbow. And
nah, he didn't catch all elbow. He had him leaning with it, bro. Nah, he had him leaning with it, bro.
No, he didn't hit body. He caught all elbow. He caught all elbow with that one. Because what happened was he threw the body kick, caught all elbow, and Dawkins kind of stepped forward. That's why Pereira was going side to side, like while moving backwards, and that's why he ended up getting knocked out. And this is something I'm going to say ad nauseum on this channel, because it's one of my pet peeves when it comes to MMA. When you exit exchanges with your chin held high, you're going to get knocked out. It's simple as that. And for guys that have been fighting, Michel Pereira is almost 50 fights deep into his career, why are you exiting with your chin held high? Like Kyle Dawkins literally just threw his hand out there and clipped him. That's all he had to do, right? That's going to happen every time. We've seen it now with bigger names as well, with like Volkanovski, where when guys exit with their chin high, that's the problem. And I think Pereira, he was looking for an opening, but he was so caught up in just doing the side to side, the hands, and it's like, all right, bro, you can hand fight if you're actually fighting. There's no point in hand fighting if there's no feints to it. He wasn't throwing feints. He was literally just bobbing. All right, you have to throw something. And if you're exiting an exchange, you can't exit naked either, in my opinion. Unless you're an MVP or an Adesanya, which even Adesanya, that's kind of going down the hill too. You can't exit exchanges naked. You got to dip your head and throw something as you're leaving, whether it's with your feet or with your hands, because you're going to get knocked out. It's a good win for Kyle Dawkins. I don't put much stock into it because, again, it is Michel Pereira. He's just Michel Pereira. There's just no way to describe him. It's not really a factor beating a guy like that, in my opinion.
The only way to describe him would be to say Johnny Walker. Middleweight Johnny Walker.
Honestly, yeah. I think Johnny Walker had a better run than Michel Pereira at his peak, but I get what you're saying. I agree. It's a good win for Kyle Dawkins. It's not shocking, but I know they won't cut Michel Pereira, so it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, your shit's a little delayed now. Your camera. Yeah,
oh gosh.
Oh no, it's good now. We're good. All right. The next fight we had Rong Zhu versus Austin Herbert. I feel like Rong Zhu here, he won the fight just based off the fact that he just had more power and he was willing, to be able to stand in the middle and throw. I feel like when Austin Herbert had him going backwards, he was actually winning the fight. I don't think Rong Zhu was that good fighting backwards. I just feel like he was good going forward and standing there in the middle and standing his base, as Conor McGregor would say. But Austin Hubbard, he was faking those single legs. Sometimes you gotta go a little bit more serious and commit more to those single leg takedowns attempts, so that he's actually thinking about it. Because he's just faking it and just not even committing to it at all. So he's just throwing stuff out there just to be active, getting himself more tired. But I like Austin Hubbard's teeps. He had some good teeps in the fight. So I just think Rong Zhanghu just had stronger power, hooks, uppercuts. Had better hands in this fight, so he was able to get the decision win.
Yeah, I think Austin Hubbard, like, he didn't fight a bad fight. I don't think so. I think it was just like Ron Juju was just stronger. Like every time Hubbard took him down, Ron Juju just got right back up. Every time they threw strikes, Hubbard was landing, but Ron Juju was just landing way harder. And I think that's what won him the fight is just the fact that he was a tad bit more active than Austin Hubbard with the striking and just hit harder, right? And that's all it is damage, right? And I think for Austin Hubbard, it's like, again, he's 33. I don't know how much more he can develop, right? But when it comes to power and stuff like that, that's just one of those ones where you just fought a better guy, right? You got to look at it. And yes, there was stuff he could have done better, whether it's with the single legs or also the grappling once he took the fight to the ground and keeping it on the ground. But for Rong Ju, I mean, he hit hard. He hit super hard. He stayed active, got back up. It wasn't a dominating win by any stretch of the imagination, but he definitely did win the fight, So it was good for the purpose of the card. Again, doesn't do anything for the future of the division or anything like that, but it was a fun fight to watch. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then we're going into probably one of the fights that most people were looking forward to on this card. And an upset alert here for Charles Johnson, which honestly this is kind of sad to see here because you know how we like Loner Kavanagh here on the podcast and we fuck with him and his fighting style. He looked like a fucking world beater to start the fight. I don't know what happened. It looked like he got tired after like the grappling exchanges. After he shot the couple guillotines, seemed like he kind of got tired after those guillotine exchanges. And then when they got back on their feet, Charles Johnson was just able to take one and gave one back, and he just caught him. Loner Kavanaugh just got caught watching his work, backing up with his hands down, kind of similar to what we were saying earlier. So, and this hurts really bad because Joshua Van out here got knocked out by Charles Johnson. And now we got Loner Kavanaugh knocked out by Charles Johnson. It's crazy. Which I don't know if you saw that Charles Johnson said he had like negative money in his account before this fight. When he had like a year, and then people on Twitter were like breaking down. He had a year where he had like 4 fight of the night performances. So it's like, should have had like $200K in bonuses, bro. What the fuck are you doing? But it's life, man. It's the economy.
Right. I mean, shout out to my buddy Zach because he said something last night. It's so true. He said Charles Johnson is the Johnny Walker of flyweight, if you think about it. And it's true. And we've been watching that fight. Again, shout out Loner Kavanaugh, the Irish, Chinese, English superstar that he is supposed to be. He looked very good. And then he put his hands down. And Charles Johnson just kept coming and eating shots. And when he hit that on Loner Kavanaugh, that I'm just sitting there and I'm like, all right, it's not a fraud check. Like, Loner Kavanaugh's not a fraud. It's not a fraud check. But, like, bruh, at flyweight, a win over Charles Johnson gets Loner Kavanaugh a guy at number 8 or 9. Right? That's just how the division's set up. That's bad. This is really bad for him to lose a fight to Charles Johnson. And I'm not saying Charles Johnson's trash can, but like this was a prime opportunity with this division in flux to be able to get a win over a gatekeeper. It's a ranked fight. I mean, we'll see what they do with him. He's still got a ton of potential. He's still really good. It's just now I think he kind of pushed back his progress probably by about a year or two with a loss like this. But for Charles Johnson, I mean, listen, hear me out. Charles Johnson, Tatsuro Taira. That's it.
I was gonna say
He's
Charles
gonna play the
Johnson.
gatekeeper.
I was gonna say Charles Johnson versus fucking not Tarsio Tyro. Tarsio Tyro's ranked too high. Fucking what's his name? Kaya Sakura.
Tatsuro Taira's not ranked anymore.
Kaya Sakura.
Tatsuro Taira's not even ranked anymore.
Tatsuro Tyro's definitely ranked, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Kai. My fault.
I was about to say, bro.
Kai.
What the hell?
You
I'm
were
gonna say
absolutely
Tatsuro Tyro
right.
is about to be a champion one day. You're tripping,
right.
bro.
My bad.
Fuck out of here.
Kaya Sakura. Yes, Kaya Sakura, Charles Johnson. That's the perfect fight. That is the perfect fight.
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
Fight
Yeah,
right there.
that's perfect fight. And then going into the last fight of the prelims here, we got Meshahate versus Gage Young. Gage Young was able to get the decision win here. And I enjoyed this fight. This fight was actually pretty good. And this is an impressive win for Gabe Young because Mahashate was giving him a lot of fucking problems on the stand up in the beginning. Like the rangy fighter, he was able to jab him to death. But Gabe Young was able to work inside, mix in some of the grappling, got some takedowns here, and he was able to actually outstrike him here too. So I think he just pulled away a
Yeah.
little bit at the end. But I
Yeah.
think that first round, just to see how he dealt with the distance in the beginning and struggling to find the distance, props to Gage Young.
Yeah, which, by the way, shout out Mahashate for having some of the worst takedown defense I've seen in a long time. That was bad. That was so bad, dude. Gage Young was just at will, just grabbing legs and just kind of not even taking him down, just laying him down. A good win for him though. He did what he had to do, man. He definitely adapted and he was just a better fighter. And I think going into this card, they were really trying to push, right? Obviously, all the Chinese guys, but almost kind of with the expectation of like we're gonna give them fights that they're all gonna win. So I'm kind of happy to see Gage Young just not kind of just take it, right? Like he did what he had to do. Won. Looked good. I think, in my opinion, just looked good, right? For what he had in front of him, Mahashate is not an easy fight to win. It's not a world beater either, but I mean, it's a good win, and he did what he had to do. He looked good. Yeah, just a good fight to end the prelims right there.
Yeah, and then we had to start of our main card here. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not even gonna try to say homie's name, bro. I just know this fight had that crazy illegal knee. That I think the fight. I don't know. I feel like he should have waited longer because he got right back into it and then got knocked out right after that. Um, I don't know what's this guy's
Yeah.
name, bro. Naraji Tahilake.
Tai- Tai- Tailaki Nuraji and Kiefer Crosby. Sorry,
Naraji
was it
Tahilake.
BDK, BSK, DBK, something, whatever Kiefer Crosby's nickname is. Anyway, he looked horrible.
Yeah, he looked dog. I
I,
think he looked
I don't know why
the
he's in the
shittiest
UFC
fighter in
still.
the on the card in my opinion. He looked shitty. He was the only guy I was like, what the fuck is he doing here, gang? Kind of gave me like he had like worse than Paul Craig stand up.
Yeah,
It's just like
yeah, I agree.
uh,
And this guy's trying to do now. I love you mentioned Paul Craig because this guy's trying to do mission control rubber guard, right, in an MMA fight in the year of our Lord 2025. Brother, this is not ADCC. This is not the Eddie Bravo Invitational. This is not, we're not. You can't do that. Just you can't do that, bro. Because it's like it looks cool, but you're doing nothing with it. And Nuraji just was dominating him. Granted, the knee, yeah, illegal, cool. He got the 2 points taken away, and Mark Goddard was like, "All right, bro, you're good. All
the
right, you have had a
the
minute to recover. You got to fight now."
the knee was illegal, but should it be illegal? That's the question.
I don't.
I don't think so.
I'm
It's a
a strong
fucking cage
proponent
fight.
of. Yeah, dude. I think knee strikes and soccer kicks and all that should be legal on the ground. Absolutely, defend yourself at all times.
Should be the
Like,
closest to what would happen in a real world situation.
yeah, I want
Besides,
pride rules. Again, not for rounds, but when it
yeah,
comes to
and
striking, give me pride rules.
not for weight
100%.
too. Not for weight either. I don't want to see no 125-pounder fight a heavyweight. I don't know. That type of stuff doesn't interest me. There's enough
No,
125-pounders
I
who can't
agree.
even fight 125-pounders. You know what I'm saying? So um,
Absolutely,
the next
absolutely.
fight we had Sumerdage versus Kevin Borjas. This was pretty much a stand-up fight as well. And a very high technical fight, even though the striking output was kind of low here. I mean, if you look at Kevin Borjas' strikes here, he had 23 20 total strikes in a 3-round fight. So I don't know what he was doing. He was just, playing fucking ballerina around the cage. I don't know what the fuck this guy was doing. 23 strikes, bro, in 3 rounds in a stand-up fight. I mean, they both attempted some takedowns, but come on now. And then Super Daji, he was able
I'm,
to win off of power shots too. I mean, a lot of these Chinese guys are powerful. I ain't gonna lie. These guys got a lot of power over there.
yeah, I agree. I mean, it just the problem with Borjas, and again, his corner was Peruvian, so I could hear what they were saying in Spanish. They kept begging him to go. They kept begging him to go and to go and to go, and my man did not want to go. He just wouldn't throw anything,
It was
dude,
that
and
power
he
though.
just
Every
kind
time
of
he
like
threw, he was
accepted
catching
defeat.
something.
Yeah. Even at the end of the fight where they really told him to engage and go for a knockout, Sumudarji just hit him so hard that Borhaus just kind of like, okay, I don't want to get knocked out. I'm just gonna not engage until they sound the horn, right? It was a good showing for Sumudarji. I think he's definitely been a lot better since the Matt Schnell loss, where He got triangle choked to death, and probably one of the better visuals in the UFC in the last 10 years. I don't know, man. I mean, it was a good win for Sumu Darji, but Kevin Borja is a guy that just came in with so much hype from the regional scene, especially in the Latin American market that they're really trying to expand, right? With guys like Riovitz and Bahamondes and stuff like that, right? I think
Zell Huber and shit.
yeah, Zellhuber, like the non-Brazilian Latin American market, and I think Borja is like, it was just disappointing, dude. That's a bad showing. Again, it's flyweight. I don't think they're gonna cut him or anything, but like, dude, he's not looked good so far, in my opinion, since he's been in the UFC. But
Yeah, and we
I
gotta
don't know.
ban them. We gotta ban the Max Holloway pointing in the middle thing, because I don't get how Max. I didn't see that really. I mean, you've seen it a little bit, but Max like did it like fully. Like, we're gonna stand here and bang. And since then, I've seen it so many times, and yet I've never seen it even closely replicated. Like, both
And Max
guys.
did it twice because Max did it against Ricardo Lamas back in 2015 as well. So that's
Exactly.
like the only two times I've really seen guys like do it. Or Diego Sanchez too is another one. Diego Sanchez and Clay Guida did it. But guys don't really do it because they're just like, I want to make it to the end of the fight, or if I'm up on the scorecards, it's like, come on,
Yeah.
man.
They don't.
Don't
They don't.
point then.
They don't want to get half the paycheck. And then going
No,
into the next fight, we got
yeah.
our once favorite heavyweight knockout artist Sergey Pavlovich turning into a point fighter. I guess Waldo Cortez Acosta, which I will say this was a good win though, because Acosta in the beginning he looked sharp. He looked like he was good on the back foot and with his jab, but Sergey was able
Yeah.
to just put the pressure and power on him. He started wearing him down. I feel like Costa just getting away from this fight without getting knocked out. Points to him, because it seemed pretty bad there at the end of
Yeah.
the second round, going into the third round. So. But what happened to Sergey, man? He just turned into a freaking point fighter, bro, after he got fucked up by Volkov and Tom Aspinall. What happened, bro?
I think, well, first off, fun fact Waldo Cortez Acosta has 10 kids. So, Charles Johnson, eat your heart out.
Right, he looked like he got 10 kids.
But, hey, man, he's Dominican, bro. No, but I'll tell you, Sergey Pavlovich, I was impressed by him. A lot of people will be like, oh, but he didn't get a knockout. It's like, yeah, but he fought a good fight for 3 rounds. He didn't overextend. He didn't push too hard either. He just fought his fight. He adapted. He feinted takedowns. He looked better than Waldo Cortez Acosta. Obviously, Acosta looked good in the first round, but Pavlovich did it in a way where he was able to read him and not take too much damage. And then, as soon as he got a read on him, got his timing down. Leg kicks were nasty on Acosta as well. He was able to get the better strikes, and he was chaining like 2-3 punch combinations, but then not overextending, looking for a kill shot, right? Which is, I think, a big problem that Pavlovich had with Volkov and Aspinall, where he just kind of was overextending and trying to headhunt the knockout. And I think this will serve him well. It showed me Pavlovich can fight a 3-round fight. It showed me he can definitely threaten the takedown, right, or at least be able to feint it in with his striking. And I think it just opens the door for him now at heavyweight, right at the top of heavyweight, to, okay, now we got some fights that I trust Sergey Pavlovich to not go in there and just get knocked out. So it's a good win for him. And I think for Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's only 14-2, same age as Pavlovich. I think he's going to continue to get better. How much better, I don't know, but I think there's still a lot of good fights you can make with him at heavyweight.
Tai Tuivasa.
I said good fights.
Come on, bro. I fuck with Tai still, bro.
Tai is so fat and disappointing at this point, and I love Tai Tuivasa to death, but like,
And
do
the
you
ne-
trust Tai Tuivasa to give you a good fight in 2025?
Depends on who he's fighting. He's fighting Greg Hardy. He's fighting Greg Hardy, bro. You know I'm rooting for that, bro. Man, anybody who's knocked out Greg Hardy in their life, I'm a lifetime supporter of. Sorry, this is how I roll. You hate women, you get knocked out.
Amen.
In the next fight, I think
Amen.
this is probably this. I don't know. This could have been fight of the night. It's debatable. I think I would give it fight of the night. I mean, if that Charles Johnson Kavanaugh fight would have went like to the third round, that could have been fight of the night. But I think this might have been fight of the night. And I was texting you too during it. Brian Ortega doing his typical Brian Ortega things, coming back into the fight. In a fight where he's just getting destroyed. He's just getting destroyed the first couple rounds, and somehow he just keeps bringing it. And I texted you this too. I think Brian Ortega's got the most heart in the game, but he still lost to, not a bad guy. He lost to Sterling here, former champ at bantamweight, and a guy who's on the short list to probably get a title shot here at featherweight here soon. So maybe one fight away, maybe two. But I don't know. Brian Ortega, I feel like his head is more into going to lightweight. So we'll see what happens to him in the next chapter at lightweight.
You're a much nicer person I am. I'm gonna point that out right now. Let me get ready to absolutely slaughter whatever this abomination of a fight was for a couple of reasons. Number one, when he hit him with the thumb, right, and the punch, and then he didn't go for the kill, and just the whole way Sterling was fighting. Yes. Come to find out, they both share a manager. So this whole week when Aljamain Sterling was arguing, I don't know why it's 5 rounds. Maybe Brian wanted 5 rounds. I'm not getting paid for 5 rounds. You have the same manager. You literally have the same manager. I don't want to hear it. That's number one. Number two, Aljo didn't put the gas pedal on until the 5th round when he was finally tired and getting hit a bit, and he finally said, I'm going for a takedown. Okay? And that's my issue with Aljamain Sterling. When he was going for a title, right, is when he finally said, okay, I'm going to put the pressure on. I'm going to show what I can do. I'm going to run through guys, right? And that's what made us like Aljamain Sterling, right, pre the Piotr Yanni. The problem I have with Aljamain Sterling is he's competitive. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying he can't fight for titles. He has the talent, the skill. But there's just times where that killer instinct isn't there anymore, where he kind of just zombie walks in the fight. Like, dude, the first 3 rounds of the fight, if he's fighting Yair Rodriguez, which is probably going to be his next fight if you're looking at the way the fights are booked now at 145, right, in the rankings, probably going to be his next fight is going to be Yair, which it's going to piss them both off. They think they deserve a title shot, both of them. Cool, fight each other. Okay?
He probably gets knocked out by Yair. I ain't gonna lie.
He gets knocked out. And so it's like, okay, you showed me nothing. You couldn't beat the carcass of Brian Ortega, who was definitely compromised going into this fight. You could tell that Brian Ortega was just fighting on instinct. His body was just not responding to him at all.
I will say, though, after the spinning elbow, Aljamain's whole right arm was swollen and his arm was fucked up. If you've seen the videos, his whole arm was fucked up after the spinning elbow.
So why'd you throw it? Why'd you throw it? Like, that's my problem with Aljamain. You're so talented. The Funk Master. Whoa. Dude, you're just Alex Caceres with better luck and better grappling. I'm sorry. It's just that's what he's turned into. And it's frustrating because, okay, now Ortega's going to go to 155. And Ortega at 34 still has enough time to maybe pull off some kind of career at lightweight. Whether it's a 4-5-5 fight career, right, at lightweight. Aljo, you're 36, my boy. You're not 27 anymore. I know you look 27 at times. You're not 27 anymore. What are you doing? Like, dude, that 5th round when he put his hands down and just kept running around the whole cage. Running around the cage. And then he had to get stopped by the ref and told to engage for timidity, right? That's part of the unified rules. Yair Rodriguez isn't letting you run around the cage, okay? Volkanovski's not letting you run around the cage. Diego Lopez isn't letting you run around the cage, right? Lerone Murphy's not letting you run around the cage. What are you doing?
My only problem is he fought so good against Mozart. I just don't get what the fuck he did this fight. Like, I don't get how does a Brian Ortega with a death, almost dying on a weight cut, doesn't want to be in the division, coming off of getting knocked out the fuck out by Diego Lopez, like, look better than you starting the end of the rounds. I just don't get that, bro.
And they let you cut less weight. You were able to keep more of your weight, which, by the way, shout out the idiots that were like, oh, Aljamain Sterling gets to fight his walk-around weight. You think Aljamain Sterling walks around at 155? Aljamain Sterling walks around at 180, 185. Aljamain Sterling used to cut like 40 pounds when he was fighting at bantamweight, okay? So this was an advantage for Aljamain. Everybody's like, well, Ortega, now he gets to keep the weight. Dude, Ortega's the smaller guy, okay?
Yeah, he
everything was in Aljamain's favor.
What they weigh in at, what, 160 something?
153. 153 is what they got.
Yeah,
to
153.
Right?
So yeah, Ortega's not a lightweight, bro. He needs to stay at featherweight because he look fucking really small.
But that's the thing. I think Ortega has to go up to lightweight though. He just has to. If you can't make the weight, you got to go up. If you got to take time off, which he already did, that's the other part, to put the muscle on. That's what Ortega took time off for. We were told is he took time off. He hadn't fought in a year to put on weight and muscle to fight at 155. Whoever decided to book this, again, their manager, Tiki Goshen. That's the guy who booked this fight. He's Dana's friend. He's been Dana's friend. In fact, he used to fight for Dana, right? He was a former UFC fighter. That's the guy that booked this. So I don't want to hear Aljamain complain of my wedding's coming up. I'm not getting paid for 5 rounds. And no, this fight should have never happened. But hey, we'll take it. And then Aljamain, you got the nerve to say, well, I'm getting up in age. Lerone has got a young guy that he's gonna have his chance. I need a shot at the title. Lerone Murphy's 34 and you're 36. Lerone Murphy's not 27. He's also beaten better guys than you at featherweight. So don't want to hear it, bro. Go get your fight with Yair. Go get your, go get knocked out and get another highlight Marlon Moraes type moment against Yair Rodriguez, and then just leave us alone. I'm done with him. I can't deal with it. You're never gonna be Marab, ever. It's just, that's done. That's gone, bro. So anyway.
Yeah, fuck Aljo, bro. You beat one of my favorite fighters, TJ Dillashaw. Fuck you, bitch. And Peter Yan. He beat two of my favorite fighters. Fuck you. Fuck.
He beat TJ.
Nah, fuck that.
I love that he beat TJ, bro.
Going into the
man was on EPO for 2 years and came to the fight with a compromised shoulder. Like, no, dude. TJ deserved to lose. TJ deserved to get knocked out that fight.
And then we're going into the main. I guess we have to talk about this. The main event card. The main fight of the card, which. Honestly, the Aljamain Sterling Brown Ortega should have been the main event, but since it was in China, they gave it to Zhang Miang.
Yeah, I agree.
Coming off the Anthony Smith KO. Johnny Walker just, looking bad, like always, looking like he was about to get knocked the fuck out again. And then all of a sudden, he just kicks his calf one time, and then Zhang Miang just turns into a little bitch, bro. Turns into fucking Mulong. Bro, he could have walked that kick off, bro.
If you hit the nerve. No, bro, he got kicked twice. He got kicked the first time, and then when he tried to walk it off,
okay, but when he was on the ground, he didn't even try to bring him in his guard. He acted like he can't function nothing just because of a calf kick, bro.
So his leg wasn't responding. That's why when he was trying to plant, and he can only move with one leg. That's why he's on one knee most of the time on the ground, because he had that left leg was just not responding at all. It just became kind of dead weight, where all he could do was lock it into position. That 90-degree angle with the knee right here, because it just wasn't responding. That was the first problem. When Johnny kicked him the first time, he moved backwards, but his left leg stayed in place. Then he got kicked again and fell. And this is the frustrating part. Zhang Minyang was winning the fight the entire time until that kick.
He was looking like a good prospect.
Gonna beat Johnny Walker.
He's looking like a really good prospect, bro. I don't know.
And now, again, because he used to train at Extreme Couture, and now Johnny trains there, and so they're going to take credit and be like, we saw that in the game plan, this, that, whatever. Johnny Walker's back. Like, what did he show you this fight? He showed me nothing.
He showed me he knows how to get lucky, bro.
Yeah, and then he did the worm again. Whoa, my gosh, wow.
Yeah, you can't fight like you're scared for your whole life, the whole fight, and then land a calf kick. Win and think I'm gonna be like, all right, yep, Johnny Walker. Nope, I'm off that train, bro. I've been off the Johnny Walker train since he got slept by Jamal Hill, bro. Like, it's been done since then. He's got in the freaking amateur scene. He's got crazy. He's been knocked out by regular schmegglers, bro. Like, he's not that good, which is so weird because if you look at his skill set, the tools he has, and his physical ability, he should be a fucking champ. He should be the guy. Him and fucking Michelle Pereira. They should be fucking demons, bro. You should be scared to fight them. They should be Alex Pereira, but they're just not. And honestly, they're more athletic than Alex Pereira is. Which is crazy because they're probably more explosive, but I don't know what it is,
his
bro.
His brother's better than them. Yeah, his brother's better than him.
His fat brother's better than him, which is crazy. But I don't know. What would you rate this card, 1 through 10?
For it being at 3 a.m. and everything in consideration, it's a 6. It's probably one of the better fight night cards we've gotten this year. If we're being honest, the fight night cards have been absolutely horrible this year. So I'd say above average. It was 6.
Yeah, bro. The fight night cards are legit fucking dog shit. I hope that shit gets better with the new deal. Which honestly, give ESPN the shit cards. Fuck ESPN, bro. They don't deserve any good cards. Fuck ESPN Plus. That shit's the worst fucking app I've ever used in my life. How are you the number one sports broadcasting company, and your app and your website interface has been the same for like 20 years, and it's fucking dog shit? I don't get it, but here's what it is.
And backed by Disney.
Another thing I want to talk to you about was the whole Rampage Jackson's son thing. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, dude.
Rampage
That
Jackson's son
was,
went to a fake
dude.
wrestler event, and the dude like trolled him, and then he
Yeah,
got mad. So then he went in the cage and just completely fucked him up, bro.
yeah. So he's at a pro. So here's what happened. So it was a work. So in wrestling, a work means that it's something that looks real, and we sell it to the crowd that it's real, but it really is just both guys are in on it. So he was supposed to get hit with the beer can by the guy, and then go into the ring and just like lightly slam the guy, and then they were gonna break up them fighting and just kind of play on the fact that like, oh, he got hit with a beer can, right? So we're gonna have him come out the crowd and fight him. So it turns out Rampage's son, in Rampage's words, that just had a concussion a couple days ago, and I'm
Ah,
gonna again.
the
This
dude did hit him with a nice spinning wheel kick.
probably it's in the. But basically, he went in there, picked the guy up, slammed him on his neck, and then absolutely just kept hitting him and hitting him and hitting him with clean blows to the head for about take 20 seconds before people finally started breaking it up. And you could see that Rampage's son like saw red. And now Rampage was actually on stream when this happened. Now he says he's got bail money for his son. Now he put an apology out to Kick and to Knox, which is the promotion. And now they say the guy's awake and alert. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, your son is 25, bro, and you've raised him to be an absolute, like, just emotionally uncontrollable human being. We've seen it on the streams with him and his son. Again, I I'm not saying I saw this coming specifically, but I'm also not shocked. And I'm not shocked at Rampage's reaction, how it went from ain't nobody gonna do nothing to my son, I'm gonna bail him out, to we apologize. My only focus right now is on the recovery of Mr. Smith. And come on, man, it was just stupid.
All I gotta say is you better have a
But
good Jewish lawyer, boy.
it's Rampage.
You gotta have that Jew lawyer, boy. Uh, let's go into who you think Aljamain and Brian Ortega should fight. Let's talk about who we think Ortega should fight, Aljo should fight, Sergey, and I think that's about it. Everybody else, we don't give a fuck about that much. Let's see.
Hey,
So,
Waldo. I want to see Waldo. I want to see what we can do.
oh
with
yeah, Waldo too. So let's first start with Aljo. What division? That's fucking featherweight. No, he's at featherweight. Yeah. Okay. So we got Mozart
Yeah,
1,
featherweight.
Diego 2, Yair. Yeah, I think Yair's the only fight to make. Or Arnold Allen. He was supposed to fight Arnold Allen. What happened? Like, Arnold Allen must be hurt because he hasn't fought since the Max fight, right?
I think.
Or Giga, since the Giga
No,
fight.
he had a fight.
He fought Giga.
Yeah, Giga. Yeah, the Giga fight.
That fight was fucking dog
I think
shit.
I think he was injured. I mean, I'd say, yeah. Well, okay. So Josh Emmett and Yusuf Zalal just got booked.
That's fucking disgusting, bro.
Not that means anything.
That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hope Josh Emmett sleeps Yusuf Zalal. I hope he can't. I hope he can't pull a Lerone Murphy. I hope he can't, please.
And I think it's on one of the pay-per-views. I don't think it's a fight night card either.
I don't know why I don't like Yusuf Zalal, bro. I really don't know. I just don't like that motherfucker, bro. He thinks just because he survived against Ilya that he's good, bro. Like,
yeah, Yusuf Zalal and Yusuf Sadiq are, I can't do it. Not for me. But I'd say, yeah, Yair is probably the only fight to make. It's the fight you have to make. Which I still remember Yair against Pitbull. Sean Shelby promised me that when I win this fight, I get number one. I fight the champion. Yeah, Yair. Sorry to tell you,
bro, yeah, you already got handed
no
that
bueno.
interim championship, bro. Well, how many more handouts do you fucking want, bro? Holy shit.
And also the title shot you did get, Volk literally picked you up like a child, laid you down in the crib, and then destroyed you. So I mean, oh, that's the guy that's champion now. And then when you said that, all the fans went on Twitter and said,
I think that fight's
wanna
completely
see that
different, though.
fight.
I want to see that fight now. I think Yair fucks him up now. I ain't gonna lie. I just don't think Yair deserves it. You know.
Yeah.
He lost against Brian Ortega before the Pitbull fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
People forget about that. He really lost to Brian Ortega before the Pitbull fight. So it's like, what the fuck?
Which
Um,
is why you got to give it to Lerone Murphy. Like he's just fought better guys. Diego Lopez fought better, including Volk. He survived Volk. He did something Yair couldn't do, and he knocked down Volk
yeah,
as well.
we're
So
not
I
even
mean,
talking about if Gene Silva knocks out or beats Diego Lopez. We're not even. He goes straight to the
you
title.
might, bro. If Gene Silva knocks out or beats Diego Lopez convincingly, right? You got to put Gian Lopez up there. I'm sorry, John Silva up there against one of these top names as like a number one contender. Like
I
it
think he gets the
just,
title
yeah,
shot. I think Diego Lopez
Yair
is the top contender fight. What do you mean? Diego Lopez is
yeah,
ranked number 2.
Movsar. I think Movsar is probably a little higher than.
I think Mozart gets the title
Just
shot after that. I mean, Mozart's probably
well,
gonna
he's
fight for the
gonna
title
fight
too.
LeBron. Well, that's the thing. So you got Lerone Volk, right? I
Yeah,
think.
Diego's
See,
fighting.
here's the tough part.
Diego's fighting
Yeah,
Gene Silva, and then they're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
have
John
Yair
Silva.
and Yair and Sterling fight.
So
And
Yair has two options
Mo,
here.
yeah,
Do you want to get ragdolled by Vloev, or do you want to take the Aljamain fight and then have to wait for another one?
yeah. I mean, I'll take the Aljo one. I mean, you're gonna have to deal with the same problem, but at least Aljo you can knock out. You're not knocking
Right.
out Mozart. I'm sorry, I don't see it.
No.
I
No,
don't see it.
I agree.
He's
I
got
agree.
he's got
I
really
agree.
good defensive stand up. He doesn't have like good offensive stand up, which I wouldn't be scared of. Well, he's nah. I'm not gonna say that. He's got good striking, bro. Hell no, I'm not. Mozart's a demon, bro. Fuck out of here. Let me not disrespect my man. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I would say, or you could wait for this Gene Silva, Diego Lopez, and then fight that person. Yeah, you can be like, all right, I'll fight the winner of Gene Silva, Diego Lopez, because you already know Lerone Murphy's getting the title shot, and then Mozart's probably after that. So to secure that,
Yep.
or to jump over that, or to secure the next spot, you're gonna have to fight Gene Silva, Diego Lopez, one of those guys, whoever wins that fight, because they're gonna have the shot over you too. So this is what's gonna have to happen. You're gonna have to fight somebody. I hate this new fucking. I don't know when it started, but these motherfuckers don't think they got to fight no more. They think they all get the title shot, and I swear it wasn't like that before. I swear it wasn't like that.
Well, because back in the day, Dana, this is when the Fertitas owned the UFC, right? And Dana would actually have actual number one contender fights where when they booked it, they would say, hey, this is the number one contender fight going into the fight. And that wouldn't change. Like if that guy won, that's the number one contender. And there was just, and this was before rankings. This is when the UFC didn't have rankings, right? And I think rankings have been more of a problem than a good thing for the UFC because let's be honest, nobody really when they book the fights, they don't really look at the rankings, right? When they do and they don't. Like it's just like you can still book like John Silva number 10 versus number 2 Diego Lopez, and everybody's still like, "Oh, good fight," instead of being like, "Why is number 10 being booked against number 2?" So old school UFC, they would just book the names, right? Like Carlos Condit, right, against GSP for the title, and Carlos Condit beat so and so beforehand, or like, and nobody there wasn't a number next to it. It was just these are the guys the fans have been saying are number one. These are the guys that have been winning fights. I'm making them the number one contender fight. That's why fight night cards are better. Fight night cards would go into it. There was no rankings, and a guy could go from winning a fight night card to then fighting on a main card of a pay per view and having a number one contender fight the next card. So I think that's just the problem with whether it's a TKO problem, a Dana just being disconnected from the business, which shows itself more and more every single day. The new system with the rankings just made it worse because now guys like Aljamain, who has a worse resume of featherweight than, let me see this, everyone above him and just about everyone below him either. Now he's demanding a title shot for beating Brian Ortega at a catch weight that he didn't finish when he could have. Come on, man. Come on. You know.
Yeah, I think the rankings are you just gotta get to the top 15, and then once you're in the top 15, you got the chance to get a title shot. What's the highest ranking that's gotten a title shot?
Highest or
Ale
lowest?
Quinta? Highest.
Yeah, Ally Quinta. Ally Quinta. It was
He was
Ally
like
Quinta.
11, right?
Yep. And Ally Quinta only happened because it was Max had they deemed Max medically ineligible, and then had Iaquinta fight I think on like a couple days notice to save that New York City card against Habib, which even then that was only a title fight because Dana said it was. The state athletic commission didn't want to consider it a title fight because they considered Iaquinta too low in rank. So, which again, the ranking system is stupid anyway. I don't. And Anthony Pettis almost fought that fight too. It was Holloway pulled out. Pettis didn't want to take it because he wanted more money for a title fight. That he's already one of the higher paid guys at that point, and then they pulled in Ally Quinta. It was a whole mess. That's why I'd say rankings don't matter. Like Diego Lopez fighting Volk was a good fight. Obviously Lopez didn't win, but we didn't care that Volk was fighting. I think Diego Lopez was like what, eight or
No,
nine at that
he was
point.
4 or
Like,
5. He was 4 or 5.
no, he's a little lower. He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't that high yet.
No, he was 4 or 5.
He beat Dan Ige. He beat Dan Ige the fight before.
Yeah, he was 4 or 5 because he wasn't supposed to fight Danny Gay. He was supposed to fight
Who's the other one?
he was supposed to fight
Oh, Jamal. Jamal's the other one I'm thinking of.
Jamal Hill.
Jamal was another one. I wasn't ranked that high.
Khalil Roundtree, Jamal Hill, Ali Quinta.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other ones. I don't think fucking when Shevchenko fought Lauren Murphy, what was she? Nah, I think she was probably like 4 or 5.
Megan Anderson was another one that wasn't that high when she fought.
Yeah, they were just they thought because of her size and her length and her physical attributes she would be a problem, but she got fucking bodied. I'm trying to think of any. What was Amanda Lemos when she fought Wei Lee? She was like, yeah, that fight that came out of nowhere. I don't know what Amanda Lemos was ranked, but I remember when they announced that shit, we were like, what the fuck? Where did this come from, bro?
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I miss the days when there wasn't rankings. And again, Dana was more involved, and it was a different time when the Fertittas were owning the UFC. That I'm sad that a lot of the newer fans will never get to experience that because it wasn't perfect, but it was fun. The fights were fun. The way they booked it was fun. You didn't have the uniforms. You didn't have the rigid corporate structure. It was just the wild west of guys that were just fighting. And Dana was just booking fights where it's just like, I'm booking it because these guys are good and I feel like it, and we're gonna promote them like we would a boxing fight, right? Now it's just so much of like too corporate, right? With the way you like Aljamain now gets to go on social media and say, I've won a bantamweight title, I defended it, I just beat number what's Brian at number 5 featherweight, without adding context that it was at 153. I beat the number 5 featherweight. I lost to the number 1 featherweight in a competitive fight. I deserve a title shot. And there will probably be some casuals out there that will be like, man, he makes a good point. And I'm like,
some FBAs out there.
yeah, and it's like, you need context. You need context. This is MMA. I can't just look at numbers and know how a fight went. I can get a semblance of it. But until you get to see it and watch it and understand who these guys are, how the fight went down, what happened, what was the context of like why this guy's ranked this number, what we were just talking about, why did this title fight happen, why was this guy so low when he fought and came out of nowhere? That's the problem with MMA. My buddy Zach said this yesterday too, and it's so true. He's like, the problem with MMA math is people try to do it, but it never applies. It never works, you know. And I think you just have a case like that right now at featherweight, where it's like MMA math isn't working right now. Lerone Murphy's probably the hottest guy that's not the champion at featherweight, especially coming off that spinning knockout against Aaron Pico, which blew up the internet. You got to put him there. You have to. He's beating everyone. He's undefeated. That's the guy to book. And Volkanovski sees the same thing we see. Hey, I'm 37 or 36, right? This is my moneymaker fight right here. Yair's not going to make me money. And also, Volk doesn't want to fight in Mexico, which I understand completely. You can book Lerone and Volk in either Australia or...
Oh, yeah, they're going to be in Australia. They're going to be underneath that JDM Islam for sure.
And because Lerone is English, that market also applies to Australia as well in a lot of ways. That's a perfect fight to book right there. You know? You can't just look at it and say, MMA math, give me a fight. Like, you're number 7, Aljo. Like,
I could also see him double booking the Australians on the Saudi Arabia card, too, because I don't think Hamzat's going to be on that card because they booked Fluffy RDR, you know?
Yeah.
So, and Sean Strick
got suspended.
Now
he wants to fight a streamer, which...
And that's so I think the Saudi Arabia card's probably going to... I don't know. They haven't announced it yet, right?
No, the Abu Dhabi one, they haven't announced the Abu Dhabi one, I don't think.
So, that's got to be Islam JDM, bro. I can't think of anybody else. Olberg Reyes. What the fuck?
They already announced... No, they didn't announce it. they announced Marab and Corey on the what's the next card? It's not Islam JDM.
Oh no, they did. The Abu
It's
Dhabi card
literally
is Aspinall gone,
yeah.
which I don't.
Yeah. Which
Why are you not doing that fight in the UK? What the fuck?
you're asking Dana to do logical things. You got to remember, Dana doesn't run that anymore. That's the problem.
That's
in the first
crazy,
place.
bro. That would have been fucking huge, bro, in the O2 arena.
Put, put Lerone and Volk on the co-main
Of
with
the what?
Aspinall gone.
I mean, this card they already
Aspinall.
have a co-main.
No, oh Jesus Christ! All right, my Alexa outside.
I don't know. Does this
No,
count?
what I'm
They got
saying is,
Volkov Almeida. Does this count as a co-main?
I mean, yeah. The way I was thinking was like, book that card in the UK. Obviously, it's already booked, but this is
Yeah.
like fancy matchmaking. Aspinall gone in the UK with Lerone and Volk. as
Well,
the
I
co-main.
think this fight was booked before the Lerone, so what it should have did is Aspinall gone and then Patty Armon. That would have been fucking crazy.
Yeah, Uncle I Pereira is the next pay per view because we don't get a pay per view this next month. We had literally all fight nights and then Canelo Crawford. Oh, Noche UFC, which is
I mean,
technically the pay.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I look at Imavov Barhalio as good as a pay per view. I look at Lopez Silva as good as a pay per view, and Oliveira Faziev. That's a good fight night. So at least we're getting some good fight nights now. So
well, the main event for the last fight night of that month is Carlos Ulberg and Dominic Reyes, which potentially a number 1 contender fight at light heavyweight. If you think about it. It's up there. They want Carlos Ulberg to fight for the title.
Yeah, I fuck with Ulberg, but fucking Reyes? Come on, man. I know he's been putting that
I
work in
believe
again,
him,
but if he fought somebody like Jan Blachowicz, he's going to sleep. I'm sorry. Jan Blachowicz is
which,
putting
by
him
the
to
way,
sleep.
September 6th, that Borjalio Imavov card. Obviously, you got Borjalio Imavov, probably the next number 1 contender, right, for 185. Maybe RDR Fluffy. We don't know yet. Other than that card, dude. Modestus Bukakas is fighting Paul Craig. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, Paul Craig might be able to get a win. Oh, Fares Ziam, this nigga needs a fucking ranked fighter. Who they got this guy fighting, bro? I'm being dead ass, bro. Ziam is cold, bro. Then he just fuck up Matt Favola. They was just clinching. He just need him. He need him while he was on the clinch, bro, and then elbowed the fuck out of him. Right? That was his last fight?
Yeah.
Oh no, his last fight was against Davis. He beat Davis.
They got
he beat Matt Davis.
They got William Gomez. Remember William Gomez from the UFC Paris card?
Yeah, William Gomez is good too, bro.
He's fighting on that card. Sam Patterson's fighting on that card.
Bro, nah. We gotta. Why is Fares Ziam not getting a ranked fight, bro? Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, the guy he's fighting isn't too bad either. I think it's just a prospect on prospect fight they're trying to do.
He's only lost to fucking Terrence McKinney.
Okay, yeah. Why isn't he getting a ranked fight? He beat Jai Herbert, Puelles.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck? He's cold as fuck too, bro. Like, what the hell?
Listen, like I said, do you think they actually care about how they book these fights anymore?
I don't even know who the fuck he's fighting, bro. Maybe if I see him
at this point in MMA, it's the managers booking the fights. It's the managers doing all this.
Kutsaladze, okay,
that's the problem.
He's decent. He beat Kutsaladze, bro. I don't
also, Mauricio Hoofy coming in as a -220 under favorite against BSD.
Yeah, I got Roofy, but betting wise, it might be smart just based on. I feel like I've seen. If I don't know if you've seen not amateur fights. The regional fights for Marcio Rufi. He's been chinned before, and he is kind of his chin is there to get hit, but at the same time,
puts a lot of pressure on people.
Yeah, and the grappling, like if you seen the grappling he was putting on Dustin Poirier, I was scared for Dustin in that first round. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, I don't know, bro. Rufi he seems special, man. I just want to end up seeing him versus Ilya. I feel like Ilya knocks him out, but I feel like that style fight, his style perfected is the style that could be Ilya, in my opinion. That more Taekwondo based style, heavy kick style,
Yeah.
Yair type style. I feel like would give somebody like Ilya more problems. But I think Marcel Rufi is just way more clean than Yair. Just way more. I don't know. Marcel Rufi versus Yair. Oh my god, I never thought about that.
Well, that's the thing. Yair would have to move up, which Yair should have been moved up. I don't know why Yair refuses to move up.
Yeah, that would be a fucking banger fight. Holy, I just thought about it. But I don't know. And then the Nasruddin Imavov Brahayu fight. I don't know who I got. I keep going back and forth, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I keep thinking Imavov, but then I'm like, I watched the fight with him and Sean Strickland, and then I watched how Brahayu was able to tank down Jared Cannonier. I'm like, okay, Imavov's not gonna be able to knock out Brahayu, and Brahayu is just a tank, and he can just go for it. And I think I favor him in the clinching grappling situation. So I low-key think Brahayu wins this, bro. I really do. People are gassing up Imavov because of the Izzy win, but if you look at the whole fight before that, he was getting fucked up, before he knocked Izzy out. So
Yeah, I think
you watched the
I
Sean
want
Strickland
Kyle
fight?
to win. Yeah. Like I want Kyle to win. I've wanted Kyle to be good, and he is good. I'm not saying he's not, but there's just times with Kyle where like I want him to put more pressure and just get more finishes, and he hasn't yet. And I think Imavov's the perfect time for him to do that. But I think Imavov, one thing he showed me in the Izzy fight was the fact that he could match Izzy when it came to point fighting, where he just can kind of keep that distance, right? And which again, he fought Sean Strickland, which Sean Strickland is like the anti-point fighter in a lot of ways, who is a point fighter. That's the funny part. But he kind of defies that style of guys that can lean on the kickboxing, right, and maintain distance. I think Kyle can too. I think Kyle might be a little too aggressive coming in though, and I'm not saying Imavov catches him, but that's my worry. Is when Kyle puts on the pressure, and Imavov's big, probably the biggest fighter just size wise that Kyle's fought in the UFC. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. It's gonna be an interesting fight. I think Bohalio grinds it to a point to win. I think Imavov, if Imavov keeps the fight standing, it says fight to lose. But I think Kyle doesn't let him. I think Kyle ends up getting him against the cage, ends up putting pressure on him, and just kind of just breaking him down.
Yeah, I
right,
think
as
he
the
makes
fight
it a
goes on.
dirty fight. I think Brahayu
Yeah,
just makes it
exactly.
dirty and wins. They both fought. I mean, you can go watch both of them fight Jared Cannonier. Actually, I think they both fought him. I think
No, I'm
Imavov got
good,
the
thank you.
Imavov got the early stoppage, right?
No, I'm good, thank you. I don't want to watch him with Jared Cannonier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jared Cannonier's ass, but I guess that would be a good way to source your MMA math, to try to see maybe what could happen in this fight. And then the Benat Sandinier Rufi fight, I got Rufi. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, one thing we got. Keep going. We'll talk about it. Just keep going.
What? Go ahead.
You'll love it.
Go ahead.
No. Can we talk about Fabian Edwards?
Oh, we talk about Dakota, them showing Dakota after her boyfriend got knocked out. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Fabian Edwards is better than Leon, bro. And you see, I think they announced they're doing the Leon Edwards versus Ian Gary, is in the works.
Oh.
For Madison Square Garden, so, I know it's kind of trash, but.
Why? This guy, they're literally just going to look at each other and then land a couple leg kicks.
Yeah, that might be. I'm calling it right now. That's going to be the most boring fight in UFC history.
Bro.
Calling it right now.
Bro. Why did he duck Sean Brady? I'll never understand.
Oh, everybody's ducking Sean Brady. Everybody's ducking Sean.
Well, he's a bad style matchup when it comes to just if we get to his hands on you, he's taking you to the ground, he's subbing you. But
the only person he's not a bad matchup for, I think, is Shavkat Usman.
Yeah.
Even Usman though, because he's kind of fucking he's a bad matchup for Usman just because his fucking submissions. Like, I don't know if Usman want to wrestle him.
Pressure, dude.
Yeah, those submissions. Yeah. And he's scary even in the standing. If you grapple, if you're just in a clinch standing, he can set some shit up standing too. Sean Brady, he's fucking scary, man.
Yeah,
he's fucking strong, bro. So
people don't realize how big he is. He trains with NFL linemen out in Philly. Like, he's a big boy, bro.
Yeah.
And again, Ian Gary if that fight happens, Leon Ian Gary, like, yay, dude. That's gonna be my piss break during that card. I'll be honest, like. It is. I know what Ian Gary's gonna do. He's gonna bounce around a little bit, hit a couple leg kicks, get a jab here and there, And Leon's just gonna look at him like he does, where he just has his hands like this and goes forward. That's all Leon does the whole fight. Just
Bro, Leon Edwards used to be one of my favorite fighters, bro. He used to be like, he used to have the John Jones elbows. He used to fuck people up in the clinch and shit with the elbows and shit. He used to, I don't know what it is, bro. He just got happy with that head kick knockout, and he was just good, bro.
Usman mentally broke him that fight. The fight that he knocked out Usman in is the fight that mentally broke Leon. Bro, if you watch that fight, and you and me both watched that fight, he was getting murdered the entire fight.
Yeah.
And it was in one of those ways. The way Usman does it is he will nullify everything you do to the point where you feel hopeless. That's what he does. And even that leg kick, it was just Usman put his hands down and leading into it, right? But if Usman just kind of keeps his distance and like maybe
No, people forget that Herb Dean
Leon-
stood him up too. He had him on the takedown.
Yeah.
Herb Dean stood him up, so.
And that's what I'm saying. Even after that, he fought a compromise. Usman coming off a knockout. The second fight, he fought Colby, which that's sparring practice, honestly, because Colby offers zero offense or defense. Colby's just there. And then he just got mauled by Bilal in his home country, which, and again, we watched that fight too. Leon did the same shit he did against Usman the first fight.
I don't know. I had Usman winning the third fight versus Leon. I don't know. That was just me, though.
It was close. I think Leon did it. It wasn't. If they would have given it to Usman, I wouldn't have. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Leon, he's not aggressive anymore. He doesn't push the pace.
He used to be way more aggressive, yeah.
Which, and this is what I don't get. Why is Ian Gary fighting
Nah, low-key, Nate Diaz broke Leon Edwards.
Yeah, low-key, yeah. That was the start of it. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. But that's my point.
Bro, Leon Edwards was down to fight Hamzat Chimaev before that. Do you not realize that? He booked against Hamzat like 3 times, bro. Which he would have got fucking murdered, bro. Oh my god. But that's the type of like fighter he was though. Like he was down to fight anybody. Like I'm about to go scrap. But now look, he's like, oh, I'm not fighting nobody. I want to take the easy fight to the title again. Like,
dude, and he took the easy fight, and Sean Brady mauled him.
And then he got fucked up. Yeah. He thought he took the easy fight, and then he got fucked up.
And that's the problem I got with Ian Gary now. He's taking the easy fights, right? The only non-easy fight he took was Shavkat, but even Shavkat was injured going into that fight, which I'm not saying Ian Gary necessarily knew that, but still. And so now you got him fighting Carlos Pratas on short notice, and Pratas almost finished him. Keep that in mind. Said no to Sean Brady. Now he's fighting Leon Edwards coming off a, 2-3 fight losing streak now? Like, okay, you're not doing yourself any favors when you say I want to fight for the title. You're not. So,
yeah.
I mean,
should have went and fought fucking Sean Brady, and you would have 100% got the title shot. Even if you beat
100%.
Leon Edwards, you probably still won't get the title shot. We still got Usman. We still got Sean Brady. We still got Shavkat. We still got Islam. We still got so many people. So.
Oh, Islam JDM still has to happen. Which who knows? That might be a
and
trilogy.
It's not even it's not even a Saudi Arabia card. So we don't even know when the fuck that's gonna be. The Madison Square Garden or, you know.
So what I'm hearing is that's the one they're shooting for Madison Square Garden. Is JDM Islam.
I mean, I think it's the best selling fight they have besides Loki. They really don't have, since John Jones left, they really don't have that big super selling fight besides JDM Islam. I think DDP Chimaev might have been the best fight they had besides that.
Yeah. And that's the problem where I think they wanted to convince Ilya and Islam to fight, but they couldn't, right? So that's why Ilya ended up having to fight Do Bronx for 155. Now with JDM Islam, that's the best fight you're going to get for Q4. Just whatever you can pull off for the rest of the year. It's also your high-selling fight. It would have been Tom and John. That's the one they wanted originally. They wanted Tom and John in Madison Square Garden. They offered John $32 million. John said yes, and then 2 days later, John said no. So now it's just been an absolute mess of, I think they would have put Islam JDM in the Abu Dhabi card instead of Aspinall Gane if John wouldn't have retired. But now you got to.
I also think Jack was like, hey, I'm the champion. I just beat Bilal at his place. Let me go and fight in Australia for the belt, or at least be neutral territory. You know?
Yeah.
He's coming to my division.
They're disrespecting JDM in a lot of ways, in my opinion. And again, I get it. They want him to wait for Islam, but I think they should have given JDM at least one fight, a Shavkat. They should have given him Shavkat first or something where you build that credibility with him of, hey, it's a champion with one title defense, at least fighting Islam, right? But Islam doesn't want to wait. And Islam is the guy that's making them not the most, but he's up there with probably one of the most popular guys in the UFC, just marketing wise. Like, you gotta do it. You gotta pull the trigger on that. It sucks, but
Yeah, I think in terms of the biggest UFC stars, Alex Pereira right now, probably number one, or maybe Ilya. Probably Ilya.
probably Ilya.
Ilya, Alex Pereira, Islam,
Khalil Roundtree. No, I'm kidding.
Chimaev, and I'm not gonna lie, that's probably, I can't think of anybody else.
Tracy Cortez.
I wouldn't even say Tom Aspinall is a big selling star. I really don't think people really know of him that much, besides people who watch the sport.
Aileen Perez.
Alien Perez. Vivian, what was it? Viviana?
Oh, sorry, Mackenzie Dern.
Mackenzie Dern. Yes. The Ritter, yeah, I think, I don't know. Say that Imavov Barajo is a really good fight and RDR Hernandez is a really good fight. Which of the two matchups deserves it more? Don't even fucking know, right? It's like whoever's ready, whoever's more healthy at the time. Whoever's gonna
just however it
accept
lines
less
up,
money for the fight or something. I don't know.
I think in a perfect world, the UFC needs Imavov to win because Imavov's Dagestani and French, right? But he's Dagestani. That'd be the perfect fight. Dagestan versus Chechnya. Have him and Hamzat fight, and you put that in Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia or one of those countries out there. That fight sells. I think it's a lot harder to sell a Hamza versus Fluffy fight, not from a fighting standpoint, but from like a marketing standpoint of like, okay, where do you put
I think
that
the
fight
RDR fight sells. I think the UFC fans all want RDR to get the shot.
I think RDR fight sells if you put that fight in like Asia. If you do a pay-per-view in Singapore or pay-per-view in China, right? Because RDR fought in one and he was huge in one. And he was a champion in one. You put him in Hamzat, you then have the Russians and the Chechens and all that flying out to watch him as well. It's just, again, and that's the problem. It's all business oriented. Also, we got to see what happens with the TV deal now with Paramount, because I think we're going to see more fights booked, right, in the coming months that are going to be a part of the Paramount deal finally. I think we'll start seeing them come like, I'd say end of next month, because they're going to, TKO is focused on Crawford Canelo at this point, right? Coming into October, they'll finally start announcing like the New Year card and February and this, that, whatever. I think we're going to see some fights that I wouldn't say necessarily surprise us, but just the way they're going to be structured is going to surprise us, right? But
yeah, well, I think that's all we got to talk about for this episode of Glove Talk. This is going to be episode 31, Glove Talk. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time. Peace.